Good afternoon, Rochester Memorial students and families. Mr. Medeiros here with this week's Medeiros Minute. Boys and girls, so nice to have you back for a full week of school. I know last week, obviously, we had some disruption in our school week with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday being no school due to the storm. But so happy to see all of you back here at school with an excellent week of learning this week, boys and girls. Boys and girls, as we always say, we want to be thankful and mindful of those folks that help us keep our beautiful, wonderful school environment safe and well. I want to thank Mr. Willett and his custodial team for doing an excellent job of making sure that our school was maintained and ready for us here on Monday of this week. Even after that storm, a lot of cleanup took place. So I want to thank Mr. Willett and his team. And let's thank the Rochester the town of Rochester Highway Department. They did a phenomenal job making our roads safe for our buses and for all of you to travel with your families as well. And a lot of hard work on their part to keep our town looking beautiful as always and safe for all of us to travel through. So thank you, Mr. Willett, and thank you to the town of Rochester Highway Department, and obviously police and fire as well, who I know are out there helping our community, making sure everyone stayed safe. So a huge thank you. Just another small piece of what makes our town so amazing. So thank you to all those folks. Boys and girls, just a quick reminder. I know that obviously last week we were a little disrupted with school. This week was a nice full week to be back in school. Next week, there's no school on Thursday for Veterans Day, so we want to honor our veterans and remember those folks and give thanks to them. So there'll be no school on Thursday, November 11th for Veterans Day. And then Friday, November 12th is actually our first full professional development day for staff, where our staff will be participating in professional development workshops for the full day on Friday the 12th. So a nice long weekend for you boys and girls, which will get you some rest and the energy you need to come back to a nice full week of school the week of November 15th. So remember, next week, 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no school on Thursday, November 11th due to Veterans Day, and then also no school again on Friday the 12th for our first district full professional development day for staff. So just wanted to remind everyone of next week's calendar and schedule. Boys and girls, I know you're excited. We announced this throughout the week this week in the cafeteria as well as in morning announcements, but we're excited to have our Pinpads back in the cafeteria. Boys and girls, remember that Pinpad is when you go through the breakfast or lunch line and you get to the cash register and you see Mrs. LaRue and Mrs. Gunnett, you're putting in your 5-digit code, same code you use to log into either your Chromebook or your iPad, or even your things like your IXL account here at Rochester Memorial. So I know for those devices and even that the IXL account, you add 3 zeros at the end. For the lunch pin pad, you do not need to do that. So parents and guardians, we're asking that you please help your students remember their number. Some of our staff members and grade level teams have created cards where the kids bring that card in with them to help them with that number. And then, as always, if a child does forget, they just let Mrs. LaRue and Miss Garnett, our cafeteria staff there at the register, they let them know their last name, they punch it in, and they get to find that code for them, and they allow the students to put it in at that time. So this system is definitely going back to a more traditional system here at RMS. That's definitely going to help us allow those lunch lines and breakfast lines, which there's a tremendous number of students accessing our breakfast and lunch programs, which is outstanding. But we've noticed that with the card system that we tried to implement, it was a little bit delayed in lines. So this is definitely, we've seen this week so far that bringing back these pin pads have allowed us to move those lines at a more quicker pace so that our students have more time at their desk eating their lunch. Obviously, our students in grades 3 through 6, they actually remember this system. It's a system we had in place a few years back before the pandemic. And so the students do remember their number when they're going through those lines. So they were very familiar with this. This is more helping our students K through 2, remembering those numbers and getting them in to that pin pad. Boys and girls, you've been outstanding. Talk about taking care of yourself and take care of others. We've seen students help each other. We've seen students adjust really well to shifting from the card system to the pin pad. So excellent, excellent job, boys and girls. I know you're excited about that, and we're happy to bring it back so that, like I said, the getting through those lines happen a little quicker so that you're back at those lunch or breakfast tables with more time to eat and socialize with your peers, which is great. Boys and girls, I want to share my screen, and parents and guardians, very exciting photos I'm going to share with you here as I share my screen of a couple of different topics and things that we're excited about here at RMS that I hope you enjoy here in this as I share my screen here in this presentation. So The first piece here is our STEAM lab. Sorry, I apologize. Our STEAM lab. So for those of our parents and guardians who are veterans here to Rochester Memorial, you may recall a couple of years ago through our budget subcommittee and school committee meetings, we discussed transitioning our computer lab. Now that we were focusing as a district on providing devices for our students and being a little bit more one-to-one from a device standpoint, we really talked about, so what's the most meaningful thing for our computer lab, our old school computer lab, which obviously was set up with somewhere around 25 to 30 desktops. So now that our students actually have their own device in their hand, what would be the best, most impactful way to utilize our lab and make it the most meaningful for our students? So we talked a lot about with our budget subcommittee and the Rochester School Committee about making the lab more of an innovation center, the little innovations station for our students. So in collaboration with Mrs. Della Chapa, our former STEM specialist, and now with Mr. Huckabee, our current STEM specialist, we've created our STEAM lab. So we've transformed the Rochester Memorial Computer Lab into this fabulous STEAM lab. And this photo here is just two of our kindergarten classes. I know there have been many classes. I've seen third grade, sixth grade, first grade. Many of our classes have been in the STEAM lab with Mr. Huckabee, but this is just a quick snapshot of two of our K classes in the lab, the STEAM lab here with Mr. Huckabee and their classroom teachers and support staff members, working on hands-on 21st century project-based learning experiences tied to the curriculum of that grade level, which is great. So this activity that you see here that our kindergarten classes participated in was obviously theme of the month, so Halloween theme. So these students were given certain, only specific number of materials, so index cards, rubber bands, pipe cleaner, maybe paper clips, very limited amount of supplies, and they had to be engineers and conduct a trap for a little monster that they brought in. So they were able to bring in an item that to them they were identifying as a monster, and these were monster traps that they were creating. So really cool, fun way to have our kindergartners start thinking like engineers and how to build structures that will accomplish the task that they're looking for. I know some of our other grade levels have been in and have done some weighing and different measuring and things like that. Again, with Mr. Huckabee, our new STEM specialist, and their classroom grade level teachers or teams to work on those hands-on project-based learning experiences, which is also not only tied to the Rochester School Improvement Plan, but also the district strategic plan, which talks about bringing 21st century experiences to our students. And also, in addition to that, more hands-on project-based learning experiences. So very excited to have this STEAM lab up and running, obviously each and every day and each and every year with your voice, boys and girls, and the voice of our staff and even some of our community members will continue to add things to this lab and make the experience even more and more fun and more meaningful for you when we talk about those real world experiences. So very, very exciting there. Excellent job, boys and girls. And thank you, Mr. Huckabee, and our teachers for jumping on this right away and getting it going, which has been great. The next piece, boys and girls, we always talk about taking care of yourself and taking care of others. And this book donation bin has just been put in our main lobby. It actually came here on Monday, November 1st. And this book donation bin is a drive that's being conducted by the Old Rochester Regional High School National Honor Society. So they're looking to run this drive. And the focus of the drive is to provide books to children in the Tri-Town, the ORR School District, and the Greater New Bedford area who may not have access to books. So wonderful drive, actually run by former RMS student Taylor Green. Taylor is working with some of her other National Honor Society members, Allison Ward, Randy Elaine, and Kathleen Brunel. And we're so proud and so happy to help Taylor and her classmates in the Honor Society with this book donation drive. So parents and guardians, boys and girls, the book donation drive, as I mentioned, started this Monday, November 1st. The staff was made aware at our staff meeting this week, and it runs all the way to December 1st. Taylor and her Honor Society classmates will be here on December 1st, which is a Wednesday, to pick up this donation bin and all the books that I know are going to fill and even overwhelm this bin so that these awesome students and leaders can donate these books to those in need. So great way, and what an example of taking care of others, boys and girls, and taking care of our community and really just being there and donating those books and helping folks that potentially need them. So Taylor, thank you so much. And boys and girls in the National Honor Society over at ORI, we're happy to help and looking forward to seeing this donation bin fill up with some books. Another piece, boys and girls, is our grade 6 students. We always talk to our grade 6 class and cohorts about being the leaders of the building, and what a way they are starting to lead us here right off in this school year. So another example of project-based learning and tying 21st century skills and working on community collaborations through projects, which is in our school improvement plan. And again, in the district strategic plan, here's our 6th grade, some of our 6th graders. passing in their plastic as part of their grade 6 Next Treks Challenge project. So the grade 6 team, the entire grade level cohort is working on this project. It's really talking about making sure we're recycling plastics the right way. A lot of discussion about plastic not getting into recycling bins and really being an issue for our recycling centers. We'll be talking about taking care of our environment as well. So the grade 6 took on this project. It's a year-long project going all the way to May, and it's called the Next Treks Challenge project. So we see some of our 6th graders getting these plastic, very large plastic bags. There's been a tremendous amount of plastic bag donation here as part of the project. The students are doing an excellent job communicating this project. They're doing an excellent job putting it out there, whether it's on social media. We have a few Twitter accounts that have been created. They've also reached out to local newspapers and media outlets to promote this, so that we can make sure that we're getting a lot of plastic bags in, so that these boys and girls can really make sure they're taking advantage of this challenge and really learning about recycling the plastic and doing a great job collaborating with their community as well. So as we see here, this is a photo of some of our 6th graders getting those large plastic bags loaded up in a truck. We've collaborated with a Stop and Shop in Fairhaven, they've been phenomenal. They're willing to take on the plastic from us so that it gets to the right places and it's being recycled appropriately. So grade 6 boys and girls, I know we always ask of you to be leaders in the building. So thank you very much for leading the way with this wonderful project that you have started. And we appreciate it. We know that there are bins throughout the whole building, and the student body has helped as well. We see a lot of it at breakfast time and at lunch. Students have those plastic bags, and oh no, they don't want to throw it out because they want to get it in those Next Treks bins that you have out there. So great job, 6th grade. I'll stop sharing my screen now, boys and girls. All right. So boys and girls, parents and guardians, a reminder, we're shifted into a new month here with last week, those 3 days of school not happening and school being canceled Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It really moved us away from October, and we didn't get a chance to transition away from assertiveness and how assertiveness helps us with relationship skills and move into responsibility. So we've talked a little bit about it during morning announcements, and I know your teachers have talked about it with you during morning meeting sessions, but just wanted to remind the community we're in a new month here. So with that being said, we're shifting from assertiveness to responsibility, and how being responsible helps us with self-awareness. Now, remember, boys and girls, we don't forget about cooperation and assertiveness. Those become tools in our toolbox. We shift our focus to responsibility this month. And reminder, boys and girls, when we are responsible, we stay on task. We listen and follow directions. We practice giving and receiving suggestions to our classmates. Being self-aware includes the ability to recognize how thoughts, feelings, and actions are interconnected. It involves understanding our emotions. Remember, boys and girls, when we feel comfortable, learning is easier. And when we are hardworking, it helps us reach our goals and values. Hope everyone has a fabulous weekend, boys and girls. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of others, take care of your environment.